In 2018, the United States didn't even qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Think about that. One of the largest sporting nations on Earth completely missed football's biggest tournament. Now fast forward 8 years. The United States isn't just back, it's hosting the biggest World Cup in history. 48 teams, 3 host nations, more matches than any World Cup ever played. And somehow, hidden beneath all the headlines, there is one possibility almost nobody is talking about. The United States making a deep run. Everybody thinks they know how this story ends. The stadiums are packed, the crowds are loud, the atmosphere is unforgettable. The team wins a few games, and eventually, one of football's giants sends them home. That's the prediction. That's the safe bet. But what if the biggest surprise of World Cup 2026 isn't Brazil, or Argentina, or France? What if it's the host nation itself? Because every World Cup creates a story nobody sees coming, and history suggests the United States could be closer to that story than most people realize. Every 4 years, football fans convince themselves the World Cup is predictable. The favorites are obvious. The contenders are known. The underdogs don't matter. Then the tournament starts, and suddenly everything changes. A giant falls, a surprise team catches fire, an entire nation starts believing, and a team nobody expected becomes the center of the football world. We've seen it happen again and again. Croatia reaching the final, Morocco reaching the semifinals, South Korea shocking the world, Russia making an unexpected run on home soil. The World Cup has always had room for chaos, and host nations seem to benefit from it more than anyone else. France hosted in 1998. They won the tournament. South Korea reached the semifinals in 2002. Russia reached the quarterfinals in 2018. Again and again, something happens when a nation hosts the World Cup. The pressure is enormous, but so is the advantage, the crowds, the familiarity, the momentum, and perhaps most importantly, belief. But history alone doesn't win football matches. You still need players, and for decades, that was the problem. The United States worked hard, stayed organized, competed well, but when the world's elite arrived, the talent gap often showed. Today, that gap is smaller than it's ever been, because something changed. American players stopped developing exclusively at home. They started moving abroad, competing in Europe, playing against world-class opposition every week, learning the game at the highest level. And now, for the first time in its history, the United States enters a World Cup cycle with a generation that genuinely belongs on the biggest stage. And that's where the story becomes genuinely interesting. For decades, the United States exported basketball players, baseball players, American football stars, not footballers. Today, that's changing. American players are competing in the Champions League, playing for historic clubs, facing some of the best players in the world every single week. For years, American fans dreamed about having one world-class player. Now they have an entire generation playing at levels previous teams could only imagine. Every great World Cup story has a face. For the United States, that face is Christian Pulisic. For years, American fans hoped for a player who could influence matches against the world's best. Now they have one. Pulisic has played for Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, and AC Milan. He's performed under pressure. He's delivered in major competitions. And most importantly, he isn't intimidated by reputations. Because World Cups are often decided by moments. A run, a pass, a shot, a flash of brilliance. And Pulisic is exactly the type of player capable of producing one. But one player doesn't create a tournament run, a team does. Folarin Balogun gives the United States something it has searched for years, a striker capable of turning half chances into goals. Tyler Adams brings leadership. Weston McKennie brings intensity. Antonee Robinson brings pace and relentless energy. Gio Reyna brings creativity. Yunus Musa brings ball-carrying ability that can break defensive lines. Chris Richards provides composure at the back. And beyond the starters lies something previous American teams rarely possessed: depth. Not just athletes, footballers. Players developed in top environments. Players competing in elite leagues. Players who expect to belong at this level. That might sound normal for traditional football powers. For the United States, it's a major shift. Now here's where things become interesting. Most people immediately ask, can the United States beat Brazil? Can they beat France? Can they beat Argentina? But that's not how World Cups work. Nobody wins 7 games at once. They win one, then another, then another. Momentum builds slowly. And before anyone realizes what's happening, a dangerous team becomes a genuine threat. That's how underdog stories are born. Not through predictions, through results. One unexpected win, one dramatic night, one moment that changes everything. Imagine the opening weeks of the tournament.
The United States starts well. The crowds grow louder. The confidence grows stronger. The media attention explodes. Casual fans begin paying attention. Every match feels bigger than the last. And suddenly, the pressure shifts. Because now opponents aren't facing just 11 players. They're facing an entire country that believes. That's difficult to measure, but history suggests it's real. We've seen host nations feed off that energy before. We've seen entire tournaments transformed by it. And World Cup 2026 could provide the perfect stage for it to happen again. And here's the part nobody can predict. Momentum at a World Cup behaves differently than in any other tournament. In 2022, Morocco became the first African nation ever to reach a World Cup semifinal. In 2018, Croatia reached the final despite having a population smaller than many major cities around the world. Every World Cup creates a team that suddenly stops caring about expectations, a team that starts believing it belongs. The question isn't whether that team will exist in 2026. History suggests it will. The question is whether that team could be the United States. Now imagine the United States reaches the quarterfinals, not the final, not the trophy, just the quarterfinals. At that point, everything changes. Every sports show is talking about them. Every match becomes must-watch television. Millions of people who normally don't follow football are suddenly invested.